Coming up here in a few minutes. Right now, though, we want to get to some breaking news from overnight. One person is dead after a shooting in northeast Portland. Police say this happened just before midnight last night when someone flagged down an officer about a body near northeast 82nd and Milton. Officers wound up finding a man there who they say died from an apparent shooting. No one else was hurt, and we don't have any word yet on a suspect. If you do have any information about this, you should call Portland Police.
Happening today, you have 2 more chances to weigh in on Oregon's mask mandates, specifically making them permanent in schools and healthcare settings. Devin Haskins is here this morning with details. Good morning, Devin.
Yeah, good morning, Brenda. The OHA is looking to extend the masking rules, and since the emergency orders are set to expire next month, they can't be extended without becoming permanent. Last week, the OHA held a hearing on the statewide indoor mask mandate. Today, the discussion will focus on the rules for schools and healthcare settings. But the reason for the extension is the same. The emergency masking orders will come to an end next month, and the OHA can either make the rules permanent or drop them altogether. However, that doesn't mean the rules will be in place forever. A spokesperson says despite the word permanent, OHA can, quote, rescind or cancel a rule when it believes it's no longer necessary. Now, in a draft of the rule, the OHA says lifting the rule would depend on things like case rates, hospitalizations, and deaths, but it offers no specific timeline for metrics. At a hearing on the statewide indoor mask mandate last week, most people spoke against making those rules permanent.
No longer have any faith in OHA and the mask mandate today. And before you tell me that a permanent mandate can be canceled at any time, I don't care.
The public doesn't trust you to end it when you say you will.
Now, in addition to masks in schools, these rules would also extend requirements for vaccinations for teachers and healthcare workers. The issues will be discussed in 2 separate hearings, one for school rules at 9 a.m. this morning. Healthcare settings, that'll be discussed at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Nina?
All right, Devin, thank you. Big changes are coming for COVID vaccine and testing clinics in Portland.
Yeah, a couple of them go into effect today. KGW's Tim Gordon explains what those changes are exactly.
2 heavy hitters in the world of big community COVID clinics are making some changes that kick in fully on Monday. First, the Expo Center testing and vaccination site is reopening after a brief break. Following nearly 2 years as an OHSU-run site, it will now be operated by the Oregon Health Authority and become a no-appointment-needed drive-through clinic for both testing and vaccinations. That frees up Oregon Health and Sciences University to operate a drive-through testing clinic at a parking garage on the OHSU campus. In fact, they began serving people last week by appointment only. As is the case at the Expo Center, there's no charge, although if you have insurance, they will collect information and bill your insurer.
But there's never any out-of-pocket cost to a person needing testing. We don't require any identification or documentation. It's as low barrier as it can get.
Appointments here are available for Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And OHSU is also adding a community vaccination clinic with the same hours starting Monday. It will be on the first floor of the university's Center for Health and Healing building that's in the South Waterfront.
Yep. First dose, second dose, third dose. We even, they're starting to recommend 4th doses for severely immunocompromised. And so, yes, we're able to do all of those.
OHSU says its 2 new clinics will add 1,000 more vaccinations and 1,100 more tests per week to what it already offers.
And we can imagine the Expo Center site run by the state will be popular, especially for testing. And again, remember, no appointment needed. It's a lot of information. We've got it all spelled out for you at kgw.com. I'm Tim Gordon, KGW News.
Well, some local schools are kind of coming back to life this week. The Omicron surge sent a lot of students home to learn online, but today a handful will go back to campus and in-person learning. The latest is Jefferson High School in the Portland Public School District. Students will be back in the classroom starting today. District leaders say they've been tracking the recent increase in COVID cases and looked at several factors to see if it was safe enough to return. So here's the list of other schools going back today. They include Alliance High School, Fabian Pre-K through 8, Franklin High, Ockley Green Middle School, and Roosevelt High School. You'll find the full list from PPS if you go to kgw.com.
Well, staffing shortages are an issue in so many industries, and that includes those that serve the community. Portland Parks and Rec is down hundreds of swimming lesson teachers and lifeguards, so they have suspended all swimming classes. After community centers closed for 15 months because of the pandemic, just many of those employees never came back. Portland Parks needs people to apply for swim instructor and lifeguard jobs to bring lessons back. They also want to be ready for this summer when they hope to reopen outdoor pools, because right now they're down to just 25% staffing.
By myself, I was on the guard stand several times last week just so that we could make sure that we could keep the doors open for our patrons to come in. It's really a struggle right now.
Portland Parks says funding for jobs is not the problem. The city's recent parks levy actually increased their budget for staffing. To learn more about how to apply, just go to this story at KGW.com.
All right, this next piece of news is happening right now. A Gresham business damaged by an early morning fire. So this is the Walker Travel Building. It's at the corner of Division and Main Streets in Gresham, not far from Gresham High School. Fire crews say this fire started outside the building on a porch. They also told us they were able to get there pretty quickly, and they managed to keep the flames from spreading past the front porch and the front rooms of this building. They say the cause of this fire is still under investigation. All right, now it's time to talk about tax season, because today is the first day you can file your taxes. Tax season is expected to be a little more challenging this year because the IRS is suffering from the same issue that a lot of organizations are dealing with right now. It's understaffed. So this would definitely be a good year to stay ahead of the game and file early. The child tax credit is also going to be a big issue this year because it expanded to as much as $3,600 per child. Half of that credit was paid out in monthly installments during the back half of last year. Families will get the rest of the credit when they file. If you received those monthly payments last year, keep an eye out for a letter in the mail from the IRS. I know a lot of people already got those letters. Do not throw them away because you'll need them when you file.
It is a very important idea to hang on to that letter and give it to your tax preparer at tax time. Or if you are doing your own taxes, make sure you have it available, because if you're working with tax software, it's probably going to ask you about that letter.
You can go to the IRS website, irs.gov, to check on your child tax credit eligibility. You can also see how much was already paid out to you and make sure that's the amount that was actually deposited into your bank account. All right, from the tax man, we go to the weatherman.
Yeah, who do you like better?
By.
Who do you like better, the tax man or the weatherman?
I have a personal relationship with the weatherman.
Okay, well, I thought
I'm going to go with the tax guy.
It was an easy opportunity to rank ahead of somebody. All right, good morning, everybody. I do want to remind you we have an ongoing air stagnation advisory because of a high pressure light wind setup. This has been in play for several days. Right now, it's still up through Wednesday afternoon. The green dots are good air quality this morning. The yellow dots are moderate air quality this morning. So currently, it's kind of a mix, and we'll let you know if we find some deteriorating areas. The other story this morning is the dense fog advisory until noon. Everything that's colored in the white shades here, reduced visibility. And there are absolutely some really pea soup areas out there this morning. And to make that worse, we also have freezing temperatures. So when you have freezing temps and fog, you get kind of an icy sheen put down. So use caution on the sidewalk, even going over bridges around corners as you're out commuting this morning. 31 degrees is the temperature at the airport. Here are the other numbers. Kelso's above freezing, but Salem is there. The coast above freezing generally. I think Tillamook's at 32 this morning. And then we have mid-30s in Bend and 20-degree temperatures out across the east. So a similar day to what we had over the weekend. There is reason to believe that the fog this morning could be particularly slow clearing, even more so in areas than it was the last couple of days. I have the Mid-Valley, Salem and Corvallis trying to get up into the low 40s. Clearing is absolutely not a guarantee for you today. Southwest Washington, any clearing probably doesn't take place until this afternoon. Vancouver only up to about 44 this afternoon. I think it could be 38 at noon, for example. So kind of chilly. Tomorrow we get some east winds. Finally, that should help limit fog, bring sunshine earlier in the day. We have the dry weather through Thursday, a rain chance developing Friday. The next kind of soaking widespread rain looks to be on Sunday. I'm Rod Hill, the likable weatherman, not that IRS person.
Got it. Thank you, Rod. Still ahead this morning, we are talking about Apple AirTags. They're supposed to help you find your lost items, but now police are concerned about criminals using them. Those details at 5:15. Plus, the CDC is urging Americans to ditch cloth masks and wear N95 or KN95 masks to help protect against COVID. Coming up after the break, our Verify team looks into how long you can reuse those masks.